Hello everyone, my name is Bhavya, and in this session we are going to discuss about the fundamentals of cybersecurity, like what is hacking, what is ethical hacking, types of hackers, and the software which are needed for hacking. We will see how we can install the softwares, the system requirements, the certifications, and everything which is coming under the fundamentals of cybersecurity. So we will start from the very basics. Then, after covering the theoretical part, we will cover the practical part. Okay. So first, let's discuss what is cyber, or we can say what is security. So first, with this term, cyber, and then with this security. Cyber means anything which is related to technology. For example, the networks, the devices, the computers, the systems, the technology, etc. So that is cyber. And security means protecting the devices, protecting the computers, the systems from the attacker or from the threats, from the malware. That is security. So overall, cybersecurity is a domain in the information technology where we are protecting the devices, we are protecting the network, we are protecting the applications from the threats, from the malwares, and also from the attackers. That is cybersecurity. Under cybersecurity, we have one more term, which is hacking and ethical hacking. Now, what is hacking? Hacking is like whenever we are breaking into any system without the permission. That is hacking. Let's say we are hacking any computer. Let's say we are hacking a Windows machine. And we are hacking any Windows machine without the user permission. So that is hacking, which is illegal hacking. So we can also say it is illegal approach. And what is ethical hacking? Ethical hacking is like whenever we are hacking into any machine with the permission, while taking the permission of the user or while taking the permission of the authorities. That is known as ethical hacking. And that is also known as legal hacking. So hacking is like whenever we are like hacking into any machine without permission. Ethical hacking is the process of mimicking the actions of a malicious hacker. That is ethical hacking. So why we have this ethical hacking? So that we can mimic the actions of a malicious hacker, so that we can know that what kind of approach any hacker can take here to hack my system. And once I know that what kind of steps the hacker can take, I can protect my system. Let's say I am finding any vulnerabilities inside any machine. I'm finding any loophole in my machine. So once I know that this is the vulnerability in my machine, so I can protect my system. That is ethical hacking. So ethical hacking is all about mimicking the actions of a malicious hacker so that we can protect our devices. But ethical hacking is all about legally hacking. And hacking simple is all about illegal hacking of any device, of any system. So that is the difference in the hacking and the ethical hacking. Then what is cybersecurity? Cybersecurity, we can say it is a kind of a domain. Under cybersecurity, we have many paths. Okay, for example, we have ethical hackers. Okay, we can say paths, or we can say job titles. So we have this ethical hacker. Ethical hacker is the person who hacks ethically while following rules, regulations, standards, security laws, etc. That is ethical hacker. Okay, that is a simple person. A person who can hack legally is an ethical hacker. Then after ethical hacker, we can have penetration testers. Penetration testers are the person who can find the vulnerabilities, or we can say any loophole in the machine, and then figure it out that whether this loophole is a legit loophole or not, and then fix the loophole. That is penetration testing. Penetration testers are the person who can perform penetration testing, and penetration testing is a process where a particular user is finding the loophole inside any application, inside any device, inside any machine, and then exploiting the vulnerability or the loophole and fixing the same. That is penetration testing. So we have penetration testers, we have ethical hackers. We can also have the SOC analyst. Now, what are SOC analysts? SOC analyst, in the SOC analyst, we have three levels. We have level number 1, we have level number 2, and we have level number 3. We have 3 levels in the SOC analyst. SOC analyst comes under that blue teaming. Okay, so it comes under blue teaming. Blue teaming, what is blue teaming? Blue teaming is about protecting the system. That is blue teaming. So we have this blue teaming term and red teaming. Blue teaming is like a person who is protecting the system. That is blue teaming. Inside blue teaming, we can say we have this SOC analyst. Blue teamers are also known as defenders, or we can say defensive side. Okay. So inside blue teaming, we have SOC analyst. SOC analysts are like the analyst, or we can say cybersecurity analyst. They protect the devices, they monitor the network, they monitor the devices, they can check for the logs, check for the vulnerabilities, check for the malicious traffic, etc. That is SOC analyst. Inside SOC analyst, we have three levels, level 1, 2, and 3. So once you have some experience in the level number 1, then you will move to level number second, which is SOC analyst level second. Then if you gain some experience in the level number second, then you will move to level number 3. So that is SOC analyst. Inside blue teaming, we have multiple paths. We have this forensics also, which comes under blue teaming. Forensics is all about, we can say, digital forensics. Digital forensics is all about finding the evidences inside the machine. Okay, let's say if any hacker attacks your machine, then how we can figure out whether, what is the attack, what is the impact of the attack, where the attack is coming from, etc. That is the duty of the forensicators. They will find evidences in the machine, and that is they will find the evidences and they will help us to figure it out that what is the reason behind any attack, who is the attacker, and so on. So in the forensics, we have multiple other paths like incident responder, we have forensicators, investigators, etc. So we have many paths in the cybersecurity. We have SOC analyst, forensicators. Even in the red teaming, we have other paths like penetration testers. They also come under red teaming, where they will find they will hack any machine while following the permission. That is red teaming. So red teaming is all about attacking. It is all about attacking the machines. But whatever they are doing while following the permissions. So red teamers are not hackers. Red teamers are the attackers who attack on the machine, on the network, while taking the permission, so that they can check their own network. And if they find any loophole in their network or in their machine, they will fix on time so that we can protect our system from the future attacks. That is red teaming. Inside red teaming, we have other paths like penetration tester, web application penetration tester, and so on. So overall, in the cybersecurity, we have many paths. So even paths are also depend on the job titles, like what kind of job you are applying. For example, we have SOC analyst. In place of SOC analyst, you can find cybersecurity analyst as well. Now, they can be same or they can be different. It depends on the job roles the company is asking you to perform. Okay, so we have job titles, we have job roles in the companies. So whenever you are applying for any job, make sure to check the job roles there. Okay, like what kind of roles the company is asking you to perform. That is job roles. Okay, so job title will totally depend on your job roles. We can have cybersecurity engineers, we can have cybersecurity analysts, we can have red teamers, blue teamers, we can have penetration testers. Inside penetration tester, we have different penetration testing, like network penetration testing, web application penetration testing, mobile penetration testing, wireless penetration testing, and so on. So we have many penetration testing. So it totally depends on what kind of path you are following. So now the question is how you can decide your path, like where you wanted to go. Like you cannot pursue everything here. It is not, it is possible, but it is like kind of time taking. So basically, in the starting, you have to select your path from where you wanted to go. So that is why we have this curriculum here, which is CEH. Okay, it is like ethical hacking curriculum. In the ethical hacking, what we will do, we will start from the very basics. We will see what is the methodology of hacking. Then we will start from the information gathering, scanning. Then we will hack the machines legally, of course. We will hack websites. We will hack Windows, Mac OS, Linux, etc. We will hack social media websites and so on. So basically, we will hack everything which is coming under the technology. and which is, of course, we are hacking legally. So once you are comfortable with the hacking and how to protect the devices, the websites, the application, then you have to decide your path, like what kind of path you have to follow. Okay, like you can go for the penetration testers, you can go for the SOC, you can go for the forensics, you can go for the red teamers, you can go for higher level of certifications like CISP, CISA, CISM, etc. So many paths in the cybersecurity. So it depends on where your interest is. That is the domain of cybersecurity. Okay, like we cannot rush everywhere. So basically, we have to select one path. Okay, so that is paths in the cybersecurity. Then we have certifications in the cybersecurities. Certifications like it again depend on what kind of path you are following. For example, the basic certification in the cybersecurity, we have CEH, which is Certified Ethical Hacker. This is a basic certification provided by EC Council company, and they provide the certification. There you can enroll for the certification and then you can give your exam. So CEH is an examination which is globally recognized as a certified ethical hacker certification. Like you can globally recognized as a certified ethical hacker. So that is CEH. After CEH, you can go for the CCNA or you can go for any other certification like OSCP. OSCP is for red teaming. You can go for the CompTIA Security Plus, that is for the basics of cyber security. It is a very basic level certification. Then you can go for the higher certification after gaining some kind of experience like CISP, CISA, CISM, etc. So we have many certifications in the cybersecurity. So first you can do the training, then you can do the practice, and then you can enroll for the certifications. Certifications are important, but not that much. Basically, skills matter a lot. Okay, so I can say skills are more important than certifications. Once you're comfortable with your skills, once you're comfortable with hacking, once you're comfortable with protecting the devices, then you can go for the certifications. Again, it depends on what kind of path you are following. The certification are different with a different path. For example, for the basic certification, you can go for the CEH. For the high level certification in the red teaming, you can go for the OSCP. For the basic level certification, you can go for the CompTIA Security Plus. For the higher level of blue teaming certification, you can go for the CISP, CISA, CISM, and so on. With the help of CISP, CISA, and CISM, we can become a CISO. What is CISO? It is like Chief Information Security Officer. And what are the roles of the Chief Information Security Officer? This particular role involves planning a strategy for the company, like how you are going to protect your company, what are your assets, how you are going to implement different frameworks, different security methods, different security mechanism in a company, different policies, different standards, and so on. So CISO is all about planning for your security. We can plan for the security structure, like what kind of structure, what kind of strategy we are going to follow in the company, what kind of policies, what kind of standards, what kind of frameworks we are going to follow. That is the role of CISO. Under CISO, which is Chief Information Security Officer, we have multiple paths like junior security analyst, senior security managers, and so on. So we have again many paths. So it depends on the interest. Okay, totally on the interest where you wanted to go. Then we have what are the requirements to start the cybersecurity, like to learn the cybersecurity. See, for the requirements, first is system requirements. So if you have system of 8 GB RAM, like these are the minimum system requirements. So we need 8 GB RAM, which is must. And secondly, you can go for any processor. Let's say Intel processors, you can go for i3 processor, like more than i3, i3 or more than i3. So you can go for the Intel i3 processors, or you can also go for the AMD processors. Okay. So don't go for the A series of AMD, go for any other series. Okay. So you can go for the AMD processors, or you can also go for the Intel processor. Okay. So we need 8 GB RAM and Intel i3 processors or any other powerful processor. Okay, but it should be more than Intel i3 or Intel i3. Okay, so that is our basic system requirements we need before installing any kind of softwares. Then the requirements, which is the skill set you need to start the cybersecurity, or we can say hacking. So first, networking is very important in the cybersecurity. Networking is the base of the cybersecurity. So I can write networking is must. We can say it is the foundation of cybersecurity. Why? Because networking is everywhere. So whenever you are hacking any network, you are hacking any device, you are hacking any application, you should have the fundamentals or understanding of a network, like how the network works, the OSI model, the TCP/IP model, how the protocols are working, how many protocols are there, the headers of the protocols, and so on. So for that, you can also go for the CCNA, okay, which is provided by Cisco company. So we can go for the CCNA, but basics are enough for the networking. So for clearing the basics, you can go for the CCNA. Okay, again, it's your choice. Otherwise, basics are must for the for the cybersecurity. And we are not going to cover networking in the entire sessions. Okay. Then second, basic understanding of Linux. This is again very important. If you have the basic understanding of Linux, then that is a bonus for your sessions. Okay, it is not compulsory, although it is not compulsory to have the understanding of Linux, because we will start from the very basics. We will discuss the Linux, the fundamentals of Linux, how the Linux works, and the commands of the Linux. But if you have any prior knowledge of the Linux, then it is beneficial for you or for the sessions. Okay, so these are the skill set we required before starting the cybersecurity. After that, what kind of softwares we are going to use in the sessions. So first we will going to use the virtual machine. For the virtual machine, we will going to use VMware. Okay, VMware. We will going to use VMware workstation. Okay. Then we will going to use Kali Linux for hacking. Okay. We will going to use Kali Linux. Let's say if you are comfortable with the Parrot OS or any other kind of Linux for hacking, then you can also use your own Linux. It is not a compulsory part that you should use Kali Linux. But if you don't have any experience with the Linux or any like Kali Linux or Parrot OS Linux, then you can start with the Kali Linux. Kali Linux is like good for the beginners. So we can go for the Kali Linux, or if you have any prior knowledge of any Linux operating system, then you can go for that also, like Parrot OS, Black Arc, or Kali Linux, or any other operating system. Okay, but it should be Linux, and it should be specifically made for hacking only. Then you can use your own Linux. Okay, but in our sessions, we are going to use VMware Workstation and Kali Linux. Okay, then we will see how we will install the softwares later on. But now we have types of hackers. Okay, we have types of hackers. So in the cybersecurity, there are three main types of hackers, which are white hat hackers. We have black hat hackers, and then we have gray hat hackers. Now, what is white hat hacker? White hat hackers are the hacker who can who are hacking legally, like they are hacking the systems, they are hacking the network, or they are hacking the machines legally. Okay, so this is the main difference. They are hacking the machines legally by following the rules and regulations, the permissions, the policies, everything. That is white hat hacker. Then we have this black hat hackers. Black hat hackers hack illegally. They are not following any kind of rules, they are not following any kind of regulations, and so on. So they are hacking illegally, that are known as black hat hackers. Then we have hackers like gray hat hacker. They are working as both white hat hacker and black hat hacker. Like they are hacking legally as well as illegally both. For example, let's say there's a person working in any company, and that person in the morning is working as a legal hacker or working in any company. And at night, that person is hacking illegally to any system, to any network. So that is gray hat hackers. They are hacking legally as well as illegally both. So we are these types of hackers. Then we have this methodology of hacking, like how we actually hack, like what is the basic methodology of hacking. So we start hacking from information gathering. Now, what is information gathering? Information gathering is all about collecting the information of the target. Okay, now let's say my target is the Windows machine or my target is a network. So first I will collect the information about the target, like what are the devices, what kind of services my target is using, what kind of architecture my target is using, how my target is working, and so on. So I will start collecting the information about target. That is information gathering. After information gathering, we will move to scanning. Scanning is all about scanning the target, like scanning the network, scanning the services, scanning what kind of ports are open, scanning what kind of services are running on those open ports, how many ports are open, and so on. So that is scanning. Then after scanning, we have this gaining access. In the gaining access, we actually hacking the machine. We actually exploiting the machine. That is gaining access, which is breaking into the machine. It is like actually hacking the machine. Okay, so we can hack in many ways. Like we can hack using cracking the passwords. We can hack by using any malware. We can hack by gaining any shell, and so on. There are like many ways of hacking. So gaining access is like actually hacking the machine. Then with this maintaining access. Maintaining access is like maintaining a long-term access inside a target machine. Let's say you wanted to hack the machine for 10 days or for 1 month, or you wanted to keep the information, you wanted to keep on extracting information from the target machine, from your victim. So you can maintain a access for a long time in that machine so that you can keep on extracting the information day after day. So that is maintaining a long-term access inside the target machine. Then we're just clearing the traces at last. So clearing traces means we are actually clearing the logs, clearing the traces of whatever we have done. So this is a basic methodology of hacking. Now this methodology depends on the scenario, like what kind of wear you are applying or what kind of device you are hacking. For example, let's say you are hacking any website. So this methodology can be changed. Let's say you are penetrating the machine, you are performing penetration testing. So for the penetration testing methodology will be different, but this methodology is a kind of a universal methodology. Like all other methodologies inside cybersecurity will be same like this methodology, like almost same like this methodology. So it is a kind of a universal methodology we can follow. It is a very simple methodology. Also, it can be used anywhere in any scenario. Okay. So we have this information gathering, scanning, gaining access, maintaining access, and clearing traces. Now, inside methodology, we will discuss in detail like what is information gathering, how to perform it. Okay, we will see the practical part as well, same as with the scanning, gaining access, what kind of tools we are going to use. That we will discuss in detail later on. Now, how we can install the softwares. So first, we are going to install the VMware Workstation. So what you can do, you can open your Chrome browser or any other browser. You can start searching for VMware Workstation download. Okay, so you can click on this first URL, which is to download the workstation here. And this is Pro here, so we are not going to download Pro version for now. Later on, we will install the Pro version, but for now, we have to install the community version. So here you can click here, try. Workstation 17 clear for Windows. So you can click on download here. Once you click on download, the download will be started and then you have to install it. The installation process is very straightforward. It is like you have to follow the installation process and you have to click on next and install. So installation process is very straightforward. So you can simply click on try download now and you can install the this workstation. Okay, I think this is pro here. So we can check for the personal use. Okay. No issue, you can download this particular version. Later on, I will provide the key for the workstation 17. Okay. So this is how we can install the workstation. Then you can search for the Kali Linux. Kali Linux download, our second application. So you can click on this first URL, which is get Kali Linux. And here we are installing for the virtual machines. So click on this virtual machines. Recommended. Okay. Then here we have the 64-bit and 32-bit. So install as per your architecture of your Windows. So mine is 64. And then click on this VMware because we are actually using VMware. So click on this file. Okay, click on this option here. The size is 3.0 GB. Okay, so this will take around few minutes. It depends on your internet speed. So you have to click on this option. Okay, you have to download this Kali Linux. Once you download the Kali Linux, it is a zip file. Okay, it is a zip file. So we have to unzip this file. So for unzipping, like you can unzip with the help of Dinar or any other application. After unzip, you will get this particular file. Okay, you will get this particular file, this particular folder. Okay, so after unzip, just unzip your folder here and then open the VMware. Okay, so once you open the VMware, there's an option. You can click on file and there's an option of open. Okay, open. So once you click on open, you have to move to the location where your file is located, where your that Kali Linux is located. Okay. For example, mine is in the downloads. So downloads and my folder name, which is Kali here. So first you have to unzip your file, then you will find this file and you have to open this VMX file. Okay, this VMX file and click on open. Once you click on open, you will get this interface, this particular interface of Kali. And there you have to click on edit virtual machine settings. Okay. And here you have to increase the memory. Mine is 2 GB. Like you can increase your memory as per your machine. So you can increase up to 4 GB if you have 8 GB of RAM. Or you can, if you have 16 GB, then you can increase up to 10 GB. So it depends on your machine. So mine is 2 GB. You can increase the size. Okay, increase the memory. Then processors, you can provide the number of core processors in your machine. Then there's the option of network adapter. In this network adapter, you have to click on the bridge mode. The first option, the bridge mode here. So tick on this option and then click on OK here. Okay, these are the settings you have to make before starting your machine. First, increase the memory. Second, increase the processors. If you have multiple processors, then you can increase the processors and then change the adapter from net to bridge. Make sure your network adapter should be bridge here and then click on OK. And then here, if you notice here, the password, the default password of Kali is username Kali and password is also Kali. So this is the default username and password. Okay. So what I will do, I will first start this virtual machine. Okay, so now we have to apply the username and password. So what is username here? Username is Kali and password is also Kali. And then click on enter. So the username is Kali and password is also Kali. Once you apply the username and password, then you will see the screen. Okay, now how to control the Linux? Like how we can use Linux operating system, how we can use Kali, that we will see later on in the practical sessions. Okay, for now I'm just shutting it off. Okay, I'm just closing this machine, shut down. Okay, like how we can use the Linux, how we can apply commands, that we will see later. For now, install the machine, install the VMware, install the Kali Linux, and follow the same steps for installing the VMware and for the Kali Linux. Once you installed, once you are comfortable with installing the Linux and workstation, which is VMware, then you can start using it. Try to use it by yourself. Okay, later on, we will start from the very basics. We will start with the Linux commands. Then we will move to tools, like what kind of tools are available in the Linux and so on. Okay, so first install the machine and then try to play with the machine. Okay, so now we can move to the theoretical part of the ethical hacking. Okay, so we will start with the first module of the cybersecurity, which is ethical hacking. Okay, so here, as I said, we have many certifications in the cybersecurity. So these are some certifications like the CSA, which is cybersecurity analyst, CTI, cybersecurity threat intelligence analyst, ECHI, which is EC Council incident handler. Then with this CPENT, which is cybersecurity, or we can say penetration tester. This is for the penetration testing. CND for the cybersecurity network defender. CHFI is for the cybersecurity forensics investigator, cybersecurity hacking forensics investigator. This is for the CISP, CCISO. This CISP is provided by any other company, which is ISC. And this CISO, which is CISO, is provided by the EC Council. And these both certifications are for the manager, for the Chief Information Security Officer post. So once you gain some experience in the cybersecurity domain, like 5 years or 6 years of experience, then you can go for these certifications. Then with the CISM for the manager, CISA for the auditing, OSCP for the red teaming, and CompTIA Security Plus. This is very basic certification. So these are the certifications we have in the cybersecurity. Okay, like other certifications, these certifications are provided by different companies. Okay, like it can be EC Council, it can be CompTIA, it can be ISC, etc. So these certifications are provided by many companies, and these certifications are globally recognized. Now it depends on you what kind of path you have to follow with these certifications, like what kind of path you are choosing, and as per your path, you can choose your certification. Okay, but first focus on the skills and then you can go for the certification after gaining some experience. Then with this index, like what kind of discussion we are going to follow in this part number 1 of introduction to ethical hacking. In the introduction to ethical hacking, we will start with the information security fundamentals. Then we will start with the hacking techniques and frameworks, then types of hackers and their approaches, methods of implementing the security controls, and rules and regulations. So these are the parts we are going to discuss in the entire module number 1 of cybersecurity. Okay. Then from the module number 2, we will start the practical part, like how we can operate Linux, how we can apply the commands, how we can hack, how we can start with the information gathering, scanning, and then gaining access. That we will start from the module number 2. In the module number 1, we will start with the theoretical part. Okay, first we will clear the fundamentals of cybersecurity, like what kind of terminologies we have, what kind of concepts we have. Then we will move forward with the practical approach. That is our plan of attack. Okay, now with this information security fundamentals. So in the information security fundamentals, first part in the cybersecurity, is what is the pillar of cybersecurity? If someone asks you what is a very important aspect in the cybersecurity, like what is important in the cybersecurity? So in the cybersecurity, whenever we are protecting anything, first thing is we have to ensure the confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Now, what is confidentiality? Confidentiality is like whenever we are transferring data from one place to another, and the data should be understand or readable by the intended authority. For example, let's say we have user number one. Okay, we have this user number one, and let's say this user number second. So let's say user number one is communicating with the user number second. So let's say user number one is transmitting any message, any kind of message. Okay, now confidentiality is we are ensuring the confidentiality, which means no one can read my message. This is user number one and this is user number second. So confidentiality is like no one can read this message except the intended user. So who is the intended user? User number second. So that is confidentiality, which is whenever we are ensuring confidentiality, which means no one can read your data, whatever you are transmitting from one place to another. That is confidentiality. Integrity is like no one can modify the data. For example, again, user number one and user number second, they are like transmitting the data. Now, integrity is like no one can modify your data. Let's say we are sending a message, hi. And let's say there's an attacker sitting in the middle of the user number one and user number second. And that user is modifying this message. Let's say the attacker converted this message from hi, let's say to bye. Okay. And then this message is transmitting to user number second. So that is integrity. It is like a violence of integrity that any attacker can modify my data. So that is a violence of integrity. So integrity means whenever no one can modify your data, that is integrity. So we have to ensure the confidentiality and we have to ensure the integrity that no one can modify your data. Availability is like, let's say we are providing any kind of resources. Let's say I have a server. Okay, let's say I have a server and I am providing any kind of resources to my users. So availability is like whenever my resources are available at any point of time to the intended user without any latency. That is availability. Like whatever the resources we are providing, that should be available 24 into 7. Okay, 24 into 7 hours and without any disruption. And that should be available to the intended user. Okay, like my customers, my clients, etc. That is availability. Like whatever the resources we are providing, that should be available at any time without any problem. Okay, so whenever we are talking about the cybersecurity, or we can say the pillars of cybersecurity. So these are the pillars: confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Where confidentiality is like we are ensuring that no one can read your data. Availability is like, sorry, integrity is like no one can modify the data. Availability is like no one can check your data, like no one can, your data should be available at any point of time. That is availability. And this particular thing is known as CIA trade. And these are the pillars of cybersecurity. Okay. So next we have, apart from the CIA trade, which is confidentiality, integrity, and availability, we have two more pillars, which is authenticity and non-repudiation. So what is authenticity? Authenticity is like whether we are checking if the data is coming from the other side is genuine or not. Let's say we have this user number one and with this user number second. Let's say user number A is transmitting any kind of file. Let's say any PDF file. The user number A is transmitting PDF file to user number B. So authenticity is like whatever the user number A is transmitting, that should be genuine. That should be genuine means that should be malware free. There should be no malware in this particular file. That is authenticity. Whenever we are transmitting data and that should be genuine, means there should be no malware in the transmission. That is authenticity. And then with this non-repudiation. Non-repudiation is like whenever the user A is transmitting data, let's say user A is transmitting this file. So non-repudiation is ensuring that the user A actually transmit the data and later on the user is not denying that I have not sent the data. So non-repetition is a guarantee that the sender of a message cannot deny sending it, and the receiver cannot deny receiving it. So that is a non-repetition. So let's say the user A transmit this file. So later on, the user A cannot deny that I have not sent this file, and the user B cannot deny that I have not received the file. That is non-repetition. Where the user A and user B, they are both taking a guarantee that we have sent and I have received the data. That is non-reputation, which is we are ensuring that the user A actually send the data and user B actually receive the data. And later on, they both are not denying that I have not sent or received the data. That is non-reputation. Here we have this definition of information security. So information security ensures that information and the infra are protected against the theft, tampering, disruption, and maintaining a low tolerable risk level. It is like information security is again a branch of cybersecurity where we are ensuring that my information, what is information? The data here. And what is infrastructure? The infra which is storing my data. Okay, so we have this information and the infra are protected against the attackers. Okay, they are protected against the attackers like the theft, the tampering, which is changing, disruption, which is disrupting the resources, and maintaining a low or tolerable risk level. So in the information security, we are maintaining a low risk level. Okay, low risk level, which is like we have a certain level of a risk. Okay, a very low level of risk. When this low level of risk escaped, so then we can say we have to take some actions. So it is like we are maintaining a very low level of risk, like a tolerable risk. Like what kind of risk we can tolerate, what kind of attack we can tolerate, and what kind of attack we cannot tolerate. Like some attacks are very common, like some very small amount of attacks, very small attacks that we can tolerate. But the high level attacks we cannot. So we have to manage our risk level in the organization, and as per the risk level, we have to take actions. So that is information security, which is all about protecting the data and the infrastructure of the company against the attackers and maintaining a low tolerable risk level. Inside information security, we have the CIA trade, which is confidentiality, integrity, availability, authenticity, and non-repudiation. Confidentiality when no one can understand your data or no one can read your data except the authorized individuals. Integrity is like when no one can modify your data. Availability is like when your data should be available 24 into 7 hours without any disruption. Authenticity is like whenever someone is sharing your file, then that file should be genuine, that file should be malware free. And non-repudiation is like we are ensuring that the data which is transmitting by user A, receiving by user B, they are not later denied that we have not received or shared the data. So it is a kind of a guarantee that a user A uh, actually share the data and the user B actually receive the data, and they later on cannot deny sending it or receiving it. That is non-repudiation. So these are like a kind of a pillars of cybersecurity, which is CIA trade, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Then we have some objectives of information security. Like what is objectives here? Like what is hacking? Hacking is all about illegally illegally hacking any machine. Now, why the hacker can hack a machine? Like why the hacker hack any machine? What is the reason behind it? So there should be any reason behind why the hacker is hacking the machine. So that reason is known as motive here. Motive is like whenever there's a motive, there's a reason behind any attack. For example, the reason can be any reason. Like reason can be any reason. Like it can be financial, causing any financial loss. It can be stealing any kind of data. It can be for any money reason, like any monetary reason. It can be taking revenge from any individual or any company. It is like disrupting the business continuity. Let's say you are the competitor of any other company and you wanted to fail some operation of any other company. Then that is disrupting the business continuity. Then stealing of any information from any other company, manipulating data which is changing data, creating any chaos, causing any financial loss to any company, and propagating beliefs like spreading any false negative agenda, then achieving any military objectives, damaging the reputation of the company, seeking the revenge, or demanding the ransom. Ransom means money here. Okay, ransom means money. So these are like certain motives, a common motives behind any attack. If an attacker is attacking the system, any system, then that system should contain some valuable information. Okay, so the reason behind an attack often because the target system holds something valuable. It can be any data, it can be any file, it can be any resources. So that is why the attacker is attacking. There should be some motive behind the hacking. Then with this method, after defining a motive, we have this method, which is like what kind of method the attacker will use to hack the machine. So attackers use various tools and techniques to exploit the vulnerabilities in the system security policies and controls. So method can be any method. It can be any using any kind of approach, using any kind of tool, using any kind of malware and so on. So method can be any method. Okay. Then vulnerability. Vulnerability is like finding the weakness in the system and exploiting that weakness. For example, this is my Windows machine. Let's say in my Windows machine, I have one weakness. Let's say I am using a Windows 7, let's say, or Windows 8. So now Windows 7 have many weaknesses, many vulnerabilities. So now attacker now can hack my Windows 7 very easily because Windows 7 have many vulnerabilities. So that is vulnerability, a kind of a weakness of a system, of a website, of a network, or any loophole. So attacker find the loophole or a weakness in the system and then hack into the machine while using that particular vulnerability, or we can say by using that particular weakness. So that is vulnerability. So how the attacker actually hack the machine? By using the motive. Okay, by using a motive plus by using a method plus by using a vulnerability is equal to attack. Okay, this is like a components of the attack. There should be a motive, there should be a method, and there is a vulnerability. So this is how the attacker attacks into any machine. So I hope this much is clear, and rest we will continue in the next session. Thank you.